be a part of this. Because they had a program, basically, if you came off the streets, you came out of jail, they give you a job. But they clean you up. You understand me? So you got to come to the Sunday meetings. You got to come to the Monday night meetings. You got to come to the Saturday, right? And you got to go through this regimen of like redeeming yourself. You got to learn the knowledge, but then you get put on the job. Right. Now, everybody don't make it through, but I done seen men literally come in there as drunkards, as like crackheads, and then like get knowledge and get invigorated and like have life in them and have some light in them. So this is like, so like when I say this is normal to me, like this is just how I grew up from a child till now. Right. You understand me? So I don't really, like people specialize it, but for me, it's like I got 7 brothers and sisters. The way I talk to the world is how I've been talking to my family. You know, so that's easy for me to do. I got footage as a child, you know, standing on stage, right, talking about Elijah Muhammad's program. So like if I'm doing it now as a grown man, I've been practicing my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can we get into that upbringing? Because I know most kids that grow up in a religious or strict household, they rebel. What was your rebellion like?
So I was born in St. Louis, right? At 2, I moved to Oakland. My older brother was the one who kind of carried me through the streets more. You understand me? So, you know, I think it's funny, man. I think rebellion is necessary, right? Because that's how you truly know yourself. That's how you truly know what you believe, right? If you just follow along with something, that ain't your true beliefs. It ain't nothing there that sticks you to it. You got to kind of go through that war. So for me, getting into the streets, being in Oakland, back and forth, and in St. Louis, you know, you lose your way a bit, right? Especially, we weren't poor, but we ain't have money type of situation, right? So, you know, you get out there and hustle. Older brother taught me the game, right? So I'm out there, I'm selling weed, I'm selling drugs, I'm moving in the streets how everybody else is moving, but I still have knowledge.
What age was this?
This was probably from my teenage years, you understand me? So like I went to a black Muslim private school when I was younger, but ever since, I think, the start of middle school, I went to a different school every year up until college. I went to 1 year of college.
Public schools?
Yeah, all public schools. So that's kind of when the path started to, you know, venture off a little bit. The household, my mother and father not together, right? I'm staying with my father, then other times I'm staying with moms. So that's when you just make your own way. And my older brother, he was in the streets, but at the same time, he a Muslim. You understand me? So that dichotomy of having consciousness, but being in the streets always existed. That's just always been my duality. You understand me? And so I think I probably had maybe like 5, 6 petty cases before I was 19 years old. I caught a felony with my older brother and my pops. And it was over assault. Somebody snitched saying I beat somebody up. You know, I got a not guilty. So the court said I didn't do it. Right? And so I don't have no felonies on my record.
That was real sinister.
No, I'm just saying.
I got
you know.
The court said I didn't do it, but you know.
It's not guilty, right? I went through that whole process, but that was actually key in my development though, because during that time, I remember when I got locked up, I was reading this book. It was like a storybook. And in that book, you know, if you ever get locked up and you read something, like you really jump into the story, you can imagine the characters. It's like a movie. Yeah. But then when I was done reading that book, you know, I'm still locked up and I'm in jail and I'm no longer closer to my freedom, right? So when I did get extradited to California, because I was in Ohio, I happened to be doing some jobs. I get extradited to California. My older brother gave me a list of books to read. These books was like books where I can actually learn the system, learn some psychology, right? Learn how the system works. So I'm reading these books. I start studying a little bit of law, right? Just enough to like understand my own case, right? Do my own juror selection, things of that nature. And I remember that moment when it was like, you know, Jabril Muhammad, not guilty. And the feeling that I got, I felt invigorated, but I felt alive because I know that this case wouldn't have been won if I didn't do my own knowledge. You understand me? And then when you do the research, you find out how many young men just plead out on cases because they don't have resources, they don't have the knowledge. Right? Not because they're guilty, right? And so I haven't read a storybook since. I only read and learn things that's applicable to my freedom. You understand me? And applicable things that I can actually utilize in real life. Right? So I think in a very logical and rational manner in that capacity. So now I want to be able to help assist other people that I know they might not have somebody to throw that key to them. You understand me? So that's what it is about, you know, giving them 19 keys, you know, giving the keys to those who got them rusty locked minds, who in situations that They just don't have access to themselves. And if they did, they'd be able to free themselves.
So your name didn't come from your hustling days?
Not at all. No, not at all. Name came from Master Muhammad, actually.
Right.
So I was inspired by a quote of Master Muhammad. And he said, there's 17 million original people, there's 2 million Indians. This was in the time in the 1930s. And he said that represents the 19 million rusty locks. And he said there's 19 million well-oiled keys to unlocking the rusty lock minds. And those keys, in my interpretation, represent knowledge of self, enlightenment, right? Different things that, you know, if people had, they can never be oppressed again, right? In the darkness. So I kind of like internalized that, you know, as a persona and a representation of like, I could be that key, right? For my people, for my family, right? So I've took it on that ever since. And then I kind of went deeper into the study of the number 19. And, you know, it means something even deeper to me now.
What does it mean?
Let me ask you a question. What does math mean? What's the acronym?
It's an acronym. Me achieving true happiness.
Me achieving true happiness. What made you?
Yeah, y'all didn't see that coming, huh? Nobody
Nobody
knew that.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, messed your whole head up. Like, oh, what? He's conscious from the beginning.
He said it before.
No, that's powerful.
Yeah.
So what made you choose it, though?
You know, math was it was like a powerful thing for me when I was young. You know what I mean? Like there was no getting around it. Everything was math.
Yeah.
So I took that on. You know, of course, the acronym came after I chose the name.
Yeah. Okay.
But it gave it a meaning that was going to lead me in a direction.
Right.
Right.
And see, that's how it is with, you know, the number 19 keys. Period. You know, when I first took it on, it had that quote attached to it. But as I started to develop, I started diving deeper into understanding like that number 19, not a finite number. That 1 through 9, that represents masculine, feminine, right? That represents birth. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan at the Million Man March, he opened up his speech talking about the secrets of the number 19. You understand me? And he was saying when that 1 is next to the 9, it represents something to be uncovered. And he went on giving the mathematics and a breakdown about how the Masons, right, had the presidential statues that add up to the number 19 and the different presidents. And he was saying that the secret of America is the black body. You understand me? And like, when you really think about it, the only thing that has made America as powerful as it is to this date is the black body, right? Their control over the resource of you and I, which is God. You understand me? And so I don't even remember what the original question was, but you know, that's my thought process, like synchronicity, right? Like you're a Taurus, right?
Yes.
So, you know, you think in a logical, rational, mathematical manner. You understand me? Like I'm ambiverted. I can be introverted or extroverted. I need to be by myself to hear my thoughts. And so the conversation that I communicate to people publicly is a conversation I have to myself privately, right? So, but without that, and I'm stuck in social environments, most people don't know what they truly think because they're constantly influenced by everybody else.
Right.
Right? So anytime something happens, bro, what you think about this? Because they don't know how to think. Thinking is a deliberate action, right?
Right.
It's actually a skill. To actually know how to critically think, how to come up with more than one solution to a problem, how to be high level.
Right.
Most people are low level, right? They're concerned with the details. They don't think in visions. They don't think in big pictures. You understand me? So like my whole entire vision right now is getting people on that high level journey. I done seen men create businesses and armies, and I done seen that fail and fall because of ego. Everybody think they the one. Everybody think that they the chosen one. No, I feel like it's more got to be decentralized. The tools that you give to the people, those are the things that allow them to develop themselves. Right. You understand me? Like, I couldn't go back to Oakland and try to start a movement and try to come up after all the things that's been there. I'm reading the book Revolutionary Suicide by Huey P. Newton. And the way he described Oakland is exactly how Oakland still is. And the way he described his childhood sounds like mine. You understand me? So like, me trying to jump into a Huey P. Newton shoes, obviously he did that already. Right? So like what we doing right now with gaining success is showing a new archetype. You understand me? Like you can have the knowledge, you can do righteous capitalism. You understand me? You can create businesses that have a social good and make profit.
Right.
Why you can't do both? The problem is people do it without integrity, right? A person will fuck over their brother, right? Because they ain't got no morals and no character. That's a character flaw.
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the way wave, you need to surf, you heard?